Welcome back to the channel. Today's video will be about a SunGold 370 watt monocrystalline solar panel. Thanks for watching. Today is a very exciting day. It's kind of started already and there is more to come. So we are talking about the installation of this solar panel, or those solar panels. I have 6 of those. Link in the description below. And we'll be installing this right up here on this shed. And I'm saying shed because this is the powerhouse. Welcome powerhouse to the property, and this powerhouse will be responsible at one point to power up multiple tiny units, which means you can have a sneak peek. I'm not showing more here to the right. You can maybe see something, but it's mainly dirt because we have some tiny homes in order actually, and we will be using this powerhouse and power up completely off grid those tiny homes. So pretty cool stuff. In today's video, we will focus on SunGold 370 watt monocrystalline. We will be installing this right on here. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, this is a tough shed. So in this orientation, we have, sadly, maybe not sadly, who knows, a north and south orientation. So this one is the north facing orientation. Right now, the sun is, I think we have almost noon, still in the middle. So both sides have sun, but the south side will also. So the orientation, that's regarding orientation, but additionally we will be using Tigo optimizers, which also have the rapid shutdown feature, and we will have 3, 1, 2, 3 on each side. So you can imagine how much power that should be in an ideal configuration. We hope that we have with the optimizers a lot of amazing outcome, and that the shade will not be a problem, or at least will be optimized. So we'll see and we'll test that as well. But for this video, we will be installing those solar panels with the optimizer on the back. I'll show you how I clip them in later, as well as, yes, the SnapNRack Topspeed originals we'll be using for this installation. So, and let's talk about this SunGold solar panel really quick. Here, the specification, also dimensions, really important when you want to size it. And I think the most exciting, no, all of this is exciting, but very exciting part of this build actually is that those solar panels will be mainly powering a Minisplit AC from AirSpool. And there is another video to come out with this. So this is kind of the requirement. First dependency we are doing, installing the solar panels, so we can actually install a Minisplit AC powered off solar. This is super exciting, and another video coming up. So subscribe to the channel if that stuff I just talked about is exciting, interesting to you, or you have similar interest, or you just want to follow my journey. And I can also say that now I guess we will be using a bunch of rich solar gear for the powerhouse. I'll leave it at this because other stuff, exciting stuff coming more and more. Let's get started with the solar panel installation, and therefore I'll get my material set up and align my top speed. To give you a little bit of a better explanation, so we have, this is a top speed, there we go, original. It comes in 2 pieces usually like this, and you will have to take the bolt out of this part and put it in here. So at the end it will basically slide in like this, slide in like this, and it gives you some room to just screw it in better, tighten it, or whatever you want to do. So here you have it, just to give you a little close-up first. And you will be able to adjust, I didn't loosen that screw and it's pretty tight, but you can slide this back and forth as well. And then you have this as the mount, and comes pre-assembled like this. It comes also down, comes also with those grooves here and here as well. And you will have to seat it like this, so the roof angle, and this goes on top. And you will fill this up with some sealant, some roof sealant. I think Topspeed has their own sealant probably as well. I bought some aftermarket stuff or whatever was around. You squeeze a lot of stuff in here and in here. You mount it, and then you can move it around. So ideally you should position it first, figure out does that make sense, measure everything out. So that's what I did up there. I did actually measure how and where I want to place my 3 solar panels, and where to start, where to end, because they will fill the full roof almost. So I'll try to mount the first one, and I will mount 2 per panel. Sorry, 4 per panel, because my orientation is not horizontal, it's vertical. You will see basically like the solar panel is standing right there. So first thing first, I will now add the Tigo. I will add some grounding brackets. First thing I wanted to install those Tigo optimizers, but sadly they have 2 wires, as you know, or maybe not. The 2 short ones are very short, and sadly with the 370 they do not work out of the box, so you need some extension cords or extension PV cable for that. I decided to use the optimizer. Making those wires, I saw that I have a kit to make those MC4 connectors, so I'll do that. And when you look here, what I did, Tigo, there's a positive, this is the positive side because there's a plus over here, connected a short wire with it, and it also calls out. There is a little, what is that, a little zip tie around. You have to connect the short wires first, so I'll do that now here. Yep. There we go. Now I have to work on the cable management a little bit better, just to make sure everything is nice and needy. Those are the cables which will go to the next, so positive and negative. We have the ground bracket down here installed. I'm not doing the SnapNRack skirt. You can buy that one, you don't have to. I decided not. It's a prep I have to do for all solar panels. And at the end, what's happening is that we will have to connect positive and negative with each other, etc. So I hope that this is long enough to go over to the next one on one side, and the other side is on this side. And SnapNRack also has, or not necessarily SnapNRack, but they also have some cable management which you can just clip into the side of the side of the frame itself. That's it. By the way, you also have those holes. I think it's 4 grounding holes. There's even a little sign up here, so you could even utilize those ones if you want to. Anyways, that's the first one. I'll do the first alignment up on the roof, so we see how that might look like. Requirements that you should have, I believe, 12-inch to the frame, or leave it a little bit more. So what's happened with mine, I will have probably 2 of those mounts mounted right here, top and bottom. We'll start on the left side, align everything with a little mark that it's the same size angle, not size, this is the same line basically, and then same up. One thing I will be doing down here, that's me, yep, it's pretty warm, 100 I believe, so I'm doing one, then having a break. But I just opened up the sealant, I cut it open, you can see it here, good. And you should already know where you place it, so really important. It should ooze out a little bit later, so it's fine. There we go, that's what it should look like. Ideally you have already measured where you will placing it. So I'll re-measure just to make sure I am correct. That's what it'll look like. I'll do the next one, I'll place it, and the good and pretty cool part about those Topspeed Original, you can actually just mount them anywhere where you have a roof. You don't need to necessarily hit a rafter. It's good if you can, but if you can't, it's not a big deal. Let me take you up and I can show you what it looks like and what happens. So you can see it oozing out everywhere, especially in those spots. But that's what it should be to make a sealed and good watertight connection. You can still move this around because my panels are actually going up to here. So they're actually going to here, and then I have space up to here, so I'm filling this roof completely. You can see this white marking. So, all right, take my break now. We've done the first row, as you can see, they're lined. They're actually just waiting for the panels to come in. Let's get a closer look. Here we go.
I think it looks pretty good, and it's, when looking at orientation and everything else, it's exactly what I expected. Now you have to make sure it aligns perfectly. Alright, from now on it's pretty much rinse and repeat. I have 6 panels, I have to do this 6 times. Adding the optimizer slash rapid shutdown from Tigo. Try to make the tire management pretty nice and neat. And then also installing the little grounding log. And now we can install the SnapNRack Topspeed original just to have it aligned before we lift it up on the roof. Now it's just about lifting the solar panel up. You might need help depending on the size of your solar panel. Installing it into the SnapNRack Topspeed originals. Bottom, top, tightening it down until it's fully seated. Oozing out the sealant. And then I added a little extra sealant on top just to be super extra sure. And then standing around and maybe at one point just coming down. And looking up how cool it is. But here's a picture of all 3 solar panels installed on this one side. A little close up on this one. You can see it doesn't align 100%, but I'm getting better.
Okay, in the meantime, while we are not done 100% with the panels yet, I'll show you what I have in mind for connecting the solar panels on top together, and I could add more. So I'll be using one of those Junction Box, which is IP66 rated. We'll mount it to the roof. Or maybe on the side, probably the side. I have to see what better. And I will be using, had to buy this entire package, but I only want to have those connectors because they are watertight. I saw a video up there which he was doing pretty much the same, and it worked great. So that's why I thought, why not give it a try? So I only need those connectors, and you can also order them in AliExpress. Mine are on the way. So they come with this rubber seal here, so you only have to drill a hole, get them in. You can connect solar panels straight in, and then you can go out whatever you want to. Here on this wall where the ladder is leaning against, most likely, because that's where I need the connectors later for the AC or breaker or DC disconnect. But I just in case will install the Daewoo. Video up there's another cool product from Daewoo, and this one is really depending on what your DC disconnect should be able to disconnect. In my case, this one should be, I believe, a 400 volt disconnect. That's how it comes. This here, pretty cool, and you can turn it off on. You have the MC4 connectors already completely there, so I'll connect the solar panels to it, and the other side I can just let dingling around for now, and I can change this out if I need to another one as well, because I believe the AirSpool does have their own. Yeah, I think they delivered another one, so we'll see. For now, I'll work on the Junction Box.
Okay, I think I messed this a little up because I'm not in the picture, and I was using the MC4 crimper set, which is great to have, and that's what I was doing. Yeah, so I'm not documenting that part, but I hope this helps you still. And I'll continue just how to do the second junction box where everything is coming in, so I have a very clean connection and conduit in between.
So for the other side, we will be using this little box. Unfortunately, the other one arrived not in time, but I will use the same mechanism like before. This one has they're not pre-drilled, the tap outs. So I'll be using this one where they come out basically at the end. So that's will be a nice clean finish, and then I can go into, to have a nice conduit finish, into the fuse and the DC breaker.
Here in the wall, the junction box outlet, and when we climb up this ladder, we will see the top part, whoop, up there. This one, that's the outcome where we will connect the solar panels. A pretty clean finish.
Okay, look at this. So we have this side. We have also conduit coming down. We have the conduit going into here. Those DC disconnectors. Sorry about the shading. Here we are. So this is coming from It's coming from the roof, going into junction box, and junction box goes into the DC disconnect over here. It's from D-High Cool. You might have seen another video already. And from there we can connect it to the AirSpool Minisplit. That will be happening in another video, but we measure 221 volts coming in here with those panels right now. And looking from down here, we can see those solar panels nicely mounted up there. Isn't that cool? Oh yeah. Right now, over 2,200 watts of solar connected to nothing. But it looks pretty good, I think, with the SnapNRack Topspeed original installed. It was a very tight fit, to be honest. I would probably go another route for such a small roof, in this case a tough shed. I think it's a Ranch or something, Ranch Pro, whatever it's called. So the roof is very minimal, but we are maxing it out with 370 watt panels, 6 of them mounted on the roof. So this is pretty cool what happened here. Alrighty, so that means SunGoldPOWER 370 watt right there. We have 222 volts coming out at the moment.
So now I'm actually testing the solar panels straight to this AC from AirSpool. It's a hybrid mini-split, can run off solar and off the grid. I'm testing it, just plugging in, going inside and starting the unit up first time. By the way, subscribe to the channel. This video is coming out pretty soon as well, testing with a traditional AC just in comparison. Here I'm running it just off solar, just off the SunGoldPOWER 370 watt panels. It is amazing, it worked out of the box, no issues whatsoever. Plus the Tigo optimizers did probably also a good job for the north and south facing panels here. But I'm wrapping up this video here, as you can hear already, testing it out, checking it out. And I'm not turning on the sound here because I actually want you to watch the video, which is upcoming and coming soon. So stay tuned for that one. Pretty exciting stuff coming.
We have the Tigo inverters mounted. The only downside here, I have to admit, is the wires are pretty short underneath. So the MC4 connectors, they're just too short. If you don't have any optimizer or rapid shutdown RSD device installed, no problem, I think, because then you can just connect them easily in series. But at least lengthwise, when you go in the second row or third row, doesn't work because it's just too short, so you have to work with the extension cords. All right, let me know in the comment section below what you think. Would you do that too? And as I mentioned, look at this. Right now, construction and whatnot. More to come. In case you want to subscribe to the channel, feel free to. There is a lot more. We'll be powering tiny homes with this shed, and there is a lot of battery and inverter power coming in. Pretty soon I will talk about that more. So subscribe to the channel to follow that stuff. It's an interesting project, and maybe view it as a powerhouse, view it as a central power hub. And this is basically what will power not one, not two, probably 3 tiny homes. So, and one tiny home I can tell you already, it's the clever tiny home which we'll be having here. So that unit itself will consume an RV connection, 240 volts up to 50 amps. So you can make your math. Alrighty, so I guess I'll do some pictures later, clean this stuff up. I have to do the wiring a little nicer and neater underneath, because right now it was not as good as I wanted to have it. Here you can see it maybe. So I have to do that it's nice and neat, tucked away. But there's a good airflow from the Topspeed. Could raise it even more. We don't need to, because this is all we need for this little powerhouse. All the stuff I used here, links in the description below, just to give you an idea in case you want to do your research, do similar stuff and whatnot. And there were tons of videos there from manufacturer, from other installs as well. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.